Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel English Lovers by Honeydee. So today we are going to have a topic that is about health, and health is very important these days. Everyone has to be safe and sound since the temperature is rising high in the low in Winnipeg. So right now the temperature is minus 34 here. So I would like to inform everyone around the city to be safe and sound and come out for any work when it is required. So that's not the time to actually roam about or just go for some adventure or something. So be safe with your family. Now, coming to the point, as I told you that health is very important, I'll share the screen with you to share the topic, which is very important for every student who deserve to be in any of the foreign country and who wants to actually pursue his or her dreams to achieve this. Then definitely the topic of health is very important, not only for those who are preparing for the writing module, but also for the speaking ones also, like whomsoever is dealing with a ELTS examination. So that person must know some words about health, why you should know about it, like before proceeding further into the topic. So I would apologize if there is any kind of problem with the live stream. I would say, uh, yeah, what I was trying to say was like, how do we measure it? How do we measure this whole thing? Like if it is the topic in speaking examination, then definitely vocabulary plays a vital role in that too. But if in it is in the case of writing task 2, where you have to write a discourse or you have to write an essay actually. So when you're writing an essay, then you are framing some paragraphs. But the topic, the central topic usually used to be something related to a certain field. Like sometimes it is about education, sometimes it is about advertisement, sometimes it can be television, it can be entertainment, it can be like leisure time. How do you utilize all those things? But sometimes, if the topic comes about health, then you must be aware that when they are checking your lexical resource, they do not check that you use the words out of the topic. They don't check those words only, but they check the related vocabulary. Like if you talk about health, then if the topic is about health in your case of writing task 2, then your words must be related to health field, like hospital, nurse, doctor, like physiotherapy, or any other word that comes in the field of the medicine or in the field of health, has to be the part of your vocabulary when it comes to using the words. So all in all, it gives you 25% of marks. You know that very well, all of you. So that 25% of the score has to be increased with the help of a certain set of vocabulary that you have to utilize during your writing task 2, or even in case of your speaking module, that you have to stick to the words which are specially related to the topic of the discussion of the question. In case of writing task 2, it is a question. In case of discussion, it is a question of speaking. So in both cases, you must be aware that health is very important. Like we usually used to hear that statement that health is wealth. Like to be healthy is to be wealthy. So one has to actually ingrain or understand that, like to be wealthy or to be rich in life, it doesn't mean that you have lots of dollars, lots of money, lots of accumulation of wealth with you. But wealthy is the person who is really healthy, and the person who can actually sustain for a long time and knows that, like, how can I actually live my life properly. That person knows that like his health is in control, and he knows that how to exercise himself in a positive direction. So the person who has a mindset of actually keeping wealthy but not healthy will have the money but won't have the health. So the longevity of life will be less for that person. So I would recommend all those students who are really interested to know about this, kindly just stick on it or share this live stream thereon with your friends and allies. So, without any further delay, let's move on to our first word. And as you can see that the first word is a checkup. What exactly is checkup? That is like examination. We usually go to a doctor or any dispensary for the checkup. Like for example, if we are having some fever or we feel that temperature is up, then to check that one whether we are for example, we are having the thermometer. Thermometer also is a part of, health field. You can utilize thermometer is also the part of that. And but when we are utilizing, so for the formal examination, for knowing it and to make it confirmed, what we do is we go to a certain doctor. It can be a proper physician, it can be somebody who has the study done for actually doing the checkup for us. So that is a doctor, usually is a doctor that makes us sure about like whether we are healthy or not. So a checkup is something a doctor does to ensure that we are healthy. So that's a good way to make sure you have no health problem. Like if the doctor will not examine you, like examination can also be a formal word for checkup. Like I'm going for the doctor's examination or for the formal examination, you can say that. So they can be used in the synonymous way, or can be used in the same place as the checkup. So a checkup, or can be any other word like examination, a formal like doctor examination, you can say. So it is always recommended to have a checkup on the regular basis. We should go for the medical checkups now and then, so that we will be confirmed about whether we are good or bad as far as our health is concerned. Now the next word is a sore throat. Sore throat, we know that what is sore. Like if we are having some kind of boils in the throat, or there is some kind of pain that we feel in the throat, that is sore throat. And sore throat is a very common reason to receive the medical care. Usually we go for a cough syrup. Like as I use the word cough syrup, so cough syrup is also one of the word we can say that you can utilize in your topic of health. Like when you are making a statement or giving an example to illustrate that whether the sore throat is a common problem in people, then you can give the example that what kind of prescription is given from the doctor's side to the different patients. So a sore throat is what it's a common issue that everyone faces. And what is the condition of the throat? Then they must have some boils in the throat, and just having the boils, people cannot drink properly, people cannot eat properly, they cannot breathe properly, and they will have cough issue when they are just breathing in the air or breathing out. So it will be a big problem for them. It will be a huge issue for them, like when it comes to not taking care of that one. Definitely having a sore throat, what you should do is you should go for a checkup. As I mentioned before, the word was checkup. Now the next one is epidemic. Epidemic, what exactly it is? So it has a negative meaning, like what it is: a disease affecting a disproportionately large number of individuals within a population. Like if large number of people are suffering from one particular like problem or any disease or any kind of virus, then that would be epidemic. Like the mm, it's not a kind of virus, I would say, but it's a kind of, issue that everyone faces now and then. So the current epidemic of obesity, what exactly obesity is? Obesity means like somebody who's fat, okay, and being fat, nobody likes to be fat, they have some problem with that. And sometimes people do body shaming to these people, and body shaming is not right. Like when people do the body shaming, they start, targeting somebody's obesity or somebody's thinness, or if somebody is quite weak in health, so they start targeting that. So that's not good. So obesity is caused largely by the environment that promotes excessive food intake, like people who do like take the food on the regular basis, and they do not actually take the healthy food in. So it's not like you cannot eat food every day. You should eat food every day, but there has to be a certain time when you're giving some chance for your body to relax and have some fast also. There should be a day or two in a week or in a month that you are keeping fast, so that your body is going to actually um, detoxify itself, and will give some chance for different hormones to settle down, and everything has to be resolved within the body. So digestion, all those things which actually cause lots of issues in the body, that gets settled down once all these things are taken care of. So epidemic, what it is, like it's a large, like when the large number of people suffer from the same thing. Obesity is one of those, as I told you. Now now related to epidemic, we have another word that is called epidemic breakout. Breakout in the sense is when the epidemic starts suddenly or strikes out. So breakout itself means, like in a very informal tongue, if I have to say, like it when it kickstarts. Like for example, it starts all of a sudden, like the way the jerk gives. Like when we are giving a jerk to anything, like we are pushing something, all of a sudden, when somebody falls down, that is also a breakout. Or like when epidemic breakout is there, then it starts suddenly and strikes to the lots of people at the same time. So when an epidemic occurs, it hits the people uh, in a very vague way, and I would say uncontrollably. Like it goes like that. It has its effect like that. Now the next one is to reach epidemic proportions. So it means that an epidemic has reached a large scale. So it's a kind of phrase, it's not a word. Let me tell you, when we use the term to reach epidemic proportions. So epidemic proportions, that means like if some disease has reached to a large number of people, or has reached to a large bunch of mass, or the people around you, then definitely it has its reach, like to reach in epidemic proportion. Like we can say that obesity has reached epidemic proportion. So then that means that it has reached, like it has gathered its importance to a large number of people, that large number of people are suffering from it. Now the next one is, just a second, just a second. Now the next word is to diagnose. Diagnose is also a very beautiful word. So when it comes to using it as an action verb in writing task, or even in speaking, it looks very beautiful. So like when we say, uh, diagnose is a kind of, to recognize something, like as especially in case of doctors vocabulary, or in medical field, if we say that when we recognize a disease or illness, so that part or the portion of the time when we are just judging it out, and we are trying to find it out, like whether or what kind of disease the person has, or what kind of illness the person has. That time period is the diagnose period. Okay, so during that time period, the person is the doctor is doing the diagnosis. Diagnosis itself means like the person is trying to judge it out, and like what exactly the problem is, and what exactly the issue with the health of the people is. So your doctor will diagnose the disease based on your medical history and test results. Like when you're suffering from something like a disease, so the doctor is not going to just judge you then and there. The doctor is going to ask you lots of questions. The doctor is going to ask you that what had you eaten? Did you have any kind of problem like such before or not? And if you had such problem, who were the people, like, or who was the doctor, or your medical history is going to be revealed to that particular doctor whom you are visiting right now. So the doctor is going to ask you the questions, what were the different medicines that you have taken in. And and that's what actually the diagnosis means, like judging it out, like why the person is facing this problem based upon the previous ailment and previous issues the person was facing as far as the health was concerned. So based upon the medical history, the doctor is going to diagnose the patient. So it will the doctor is going to provide the results based upon that. So thereafter, the next word is deterioration. So a little difficult pronunciation it is, but it's very simple if we are going to just cut it out. Deteriorate, like then we say deteriorate. So but if it is used as noun, because it is a process of deterioration, so deteriorate itself means like decreasing down. Okay, so getting to a worse condition, like from bad to worse. We have 3 degrees: bad, worse, and worst. So when we are going from bad to worse, that means the condition was already bad, and we are going from bad to the, like, we can't say more bad, we can say worse. So that's what I'm saying, like deterioration is a phenomena when the process of something or process of a disease is going from bad to worse. The patient's health is deteriorating every day. Deteriorating every day itself means the patient is becoming bad to worse. That means the condition of the patient is going from bad to worse. So that's what deterioration itself means. Now the next word is chronic. Chronic is like, we have heard of the different terms like Chronicles of Narnia, okay, a chronological order. But in the field of health, we have a certain word called chronic. What exactly it means? Obviously, when chronic itself means, it is related to the time period. Okay, when we are talking about the historical time period, but here we are talking about something else. Chronic itself, in simple definition, means existing frequently or most of the time. Like for example, if something is happening again and again, and it is having its effect every now and then that is chronic. Like it has some effect. It has a chronicle effect. Like sugar may not be the only contributor to the chronic disease, but it is by far the easiest one to avoid. So it's not the chronic disease, it is not the contributor for the chronic disease, but still it is easiest one to avoid. Like if we are going to control our sugar, then definitely lots of problems can be controlled. But if you are not going to control that one, so like in easiest definition, it is like existing frequently or happening frequently or most of the time. So that is chronic. Like there can be chronic diseases like influenza, or we can say that like if even somebody is suffering from a lot of cough, it's also chronic. Sometimes it becomes chronic because if somebody is having that habitually, with the passage of time, most of the time, that frequently the person is suffering from it, then that is a chronic one. Now thereafter, the another term that comes to the play and comes to the fore is to infect. Infection. So infect, infection, injection, lots of terms. But from infect, you can understand that very clearly. Injection is something else. To inject something. Infect means you are getting affected by something or infected by something, or means to cause somebody to become affected by a disease. Like infection can happen from one person to the another also, or it can happen like, for example, you're using the towel, or you're using somebody's hanky or handkerchief, or you are using somebody's pen. Even the somebody's having some cough problem or having sneezing problem, then definitely whatsoever will be touched by that person, if you're using that thing, then you can get infected by that. So if something is causing other person to get affected by a disease, then you are getting infected. So you get infected by such thing. So if you return to work after your sick leave too soon, like for example, your condition is too bad and you are uncontrollably, you want some rest, you want some peace, and you think so that one day rest is going to make your day, next days or the next week going to be the optimum one, but that in return becomes a kind of problem for you, then definitely you should feel that like I can get infected. So you may infect your colleagues also. Like if you are sick and you are not out of your trouble, and you are not convulsing out of your problem or the disease, and you're feeling unsafe, and you're making others also unsafe just by being careless about it, like not taking another day's leave. So when you feel unsafe and you feel that I'm not okay, then you know yeah, it's also difficult like to take the 2 days, but still, if you want to manage it out, like you can tell your manager, you can tell your supervisor that yeah, if I'm going to be there, then it can get into somebody else also, and I can infect somebody else also. So infection goes from one person to another, so don't be infectious. So it can be used in the positive sense also, but it's a kind of, it can be some kind of metaphorical usage, like his presence in the room is infectious. That means uh, whatsoever the person does is affecting the other person too much. So but that is not in the disease form, but it can be in the positive form also. The person can be quite helpful to the people, or quite amiable and amicable to the people, towards the people, sorry. So then the person can be quite, what we say, benevolent, friendly, like the personality of the person is quite infectious, or can be the communication system or communication values in the person can be quite infectious. So that is in the positive sense, but here we are talking about health. So infect means to make somebody sick just because you are sick. So I think you are sick if you are making others sick. Okay, so don't be sick. Okay, now next word is recover. Recover, I told you there is word called convulsence, but that is not used here, but the recover word is used. So what actually recover means, to get back to your previous healthy situation or healthy position. So which means that they return to the normal condition or get back from being ill. If you are sick and you're coming back to your normal condition, that you are recovering at the time, that means you are in the recovering state. So when you are recovering, he had a stroke, but he is recovering well. That means he had a heart stroke, it can be another stroke, it can be kind of any other stroke, but the person is recovering. Recovering means coming back to the good health again. Now the next word is Next word is symptoms. Symptoms in P is quite, I would say that clearly silent. Symptoms, we say symptoms. Symptoms, we don't say symptoms. We don't say that. Symptoms. What are symptoms of that? Symptoms of that. Symptoms of that. Okay, so what are symptoms? Which are changes in your body or mind showing that you are not healthy. So symptoms are that, like when you say he has some symptoms of malaria, or he has some symptoms of chicken pox, so then definitely the body and the mind are going to show up something which is unnatural in your body or in your physical appearance. Then definitely the people can judge it out that yeah, the person has those symptoms, those diseases symptoms. So the person, if suffering from chickenpox, will have some symptoms on the body. There would be some spots on that. Then definitely those are the symptoms. Or like even the symptoms can be in the temperature form. If the person is suffering from temperature getting risen again and again, then from that only the teacher is not the teacher, sorry for that, the doctor is going to diagnose it, that thing, what kind of symptoms are those. So doctor used to use those symptoms to diagnose, what should I say, okay. So the doctor takes the decision based upon, let me have some water. My dry throat is one of the symptoms that I require some water. Yeah. So I diagnosed it. This time the teacher diagnosed it. Now, next word. Yeah. So onset on of symptoms. So now another phrase comes into being, like what is that? Onset of symptoms. What exactly it stand for? Like which is when your symptoms become noticeable. Like symptoms are not visible in the beginning itself. Sometimes people are sick but they don't know like whether they are sick or not. The doctor is able to recognize it through the use of those symptoms. When they start getting noticed, like on the day we are able to notice that one, that you're suffering from some disease or suffering from some issue, some suffering from some problem as far as your health is concerned, then I think that is the onset of symptoms. Onset means it's a start of the symptoms that person has to face, and the person is visibly or clearly visible on the face of the person. Now, the another term which is from the health field, like that is vaccine. Let me tell you that all those words that I'm trying to speak about, like these are not the only words in the field of health, but these are some of those words that one can actually understand and know and can actually work on to improve their vocab. Okay. Mm, then thereafter, you see the term vaccine, vaccination. We all have gone to vaccination a lot. You know, we had gone to vaccination a lot during the corona period. So, what is a vaccine? Vaccine is something else. Vaccine is an injection. Injection means when we are injecting something inside, uh, like the body, inside, like it can be any kind of injection, can be on the arm, okay, can be on the rump, can be on any part of the body, depending upon the kind of vaccine it is an injection to protect against a particular disease. Like for example, during this corona period we were suffering from corona, then there was a certain vaccine that came into being and it helped us. But in this case of example, that I would say that researchers are trying to develop, not develop but develop, okay, develop a vaccine against swine flu. Okay, so they are developing a vaccine against swine flu. Swine flu was also one of the problem that we face, you know. In most cases, it is tough. like it is enough to have one dose of vaccine to recover. Like we also take our kids or our newborn babies also for the vaccination, you know, after every month or after every 6 months, or it depends upon the kind of injection that we are going to have for our like son or daughter, whomsoever it is. Then depending upon the kind of like injection and the time period it is, so we go for vaccination. And for the vaccine is a kind of injection, so that injection that we use for making somebody strong and immunity strong. Actually what vaccination does is it makes our body strong. And how vaccination actually works is like poison cuts poison, or diamond cuts diamond, or the way we can say whichever way is perfectly suitable to you, you can say that. Like vaccination itself means like if we are having poison in the body, it'll be killed by poison itself, or even if it is any virus, and the virus is going to be killed by a virus. So that is the way the vaccine is used. Now the next term, as you can see in the picture also, is an ambulance. Ambulance, we know that what exactly, it's an emergency bus. You know what exactly it is. It is a vehicle that takes sick people to the hospital, especially in case of emergency, as I mentioned before. So if there is any emergency, the person is suffering from a stroke, or somebody is suffering from this or that, like the one can call 108, or whomsoever you can call. In India usually we do that. So the way the numbers are given, so based upon that we can call them. You know, here when you're not feeling fine, you can call like lots of numbers. 911 is also one of those, and you can actually explain your condition and situation. Depending upon your situation, the person is going to be sent, or the team of the doctors, or the team of whatsoever is required will be sent to your house, and you will be taken in the ambulance. Now, emergency. What exactly is emergency? I told you that ambulance will come in case of emergency. What exactly is emergency? How can we actually understand now is the emergency? Now, it is a sudden unforeseen crisis. Unforeseen means which are not seen before, or which we don't know, like what will happen in the future. So crisis means the issues or the problems or the dangers or the perils that we face in our life. So emergency is something like um, which occurs all of a sudden. So that requires immediate treatment or resolution. So when something requires immediate treatment, or something requires immediate resolution or a problem solution, then we require somebody to help us out. So when you are suffering from I remember lots of time I took my father to the hospital, especially to the Fortis Mohali. So I remember that when my father used to suffer from lots of issues regarding health, and especially heart. So in case of emergency, when I went there, I remember that there was an emergency ward, and there was a proper staff that who took care of my father. They gave him the first aid and everything, and thereafter he was shifted to some another a panel of doctors, and then thereafter all those panel of doctors decided that what has to be done. And my father went through some surgery like heart surgery, and the pacemaker was installed in his body to pump his heart. So I remember that emergency. Like emergency situations occur in everyone's life. So how do we take it, and how do we resolute them? It all depends upon us. Now, next is fatigue. What is fatigue? Fatigue is when you are tired, when you are exhausted, when you're completely drained out, when you don't feel yourself to be in the state of doing anything, when you are deadly tired. Okay, so a state of being very tired or exhausted means fatigue. Okay, so what's an example? Driver fatigue is a major cause of road accident. Like, what exactly is the issue? The drivers are tired, but they still are driving, and they cause the problem. That is a cause of concern for lots of people. Like the person is suffering from sleeplessness, insomniac. The person is insomnia is the issue the person suffers from. The driver suffers from, and the driver doesn't stop driving. So during that time, the person requires some rest, and if the person doesn't take the rest, then definitely it will be deadly sure the person is going to get tired during the driving process as well, and the person can suffer from lots of issues like the road accidents are the major things, like we can say that. And what is the major issue? Fatigue is a major issue. Fatigue or tiredness or exhaustion, you can say it anyway. Okay, now the next term is to feel poorly. Like here I'm putting stress on per word. It's like to feel poorly. Poorly means to feel sick when you are tired, when you are exhausted. So those drivers, like who drive even when they know that they are tired, they are feeling poorly, but they don't stop driving. So when they feel poor, whenever you're feeling poorly, you should have some rest and take care of your health. Health is wealth, as I mentioned that before. So to feel bad or to feel sick, it means that you feel poorly. Now the next word is, just a second, to have a feeling. Let me check whether I am right or not. Yeah. So to have a filling, we as you can see in the picture, there is a tooth, you can see, and sometimes there is always like people suffer from lots of issues about the teeth when it comes to teeth. So that's a favorite part. Like people make songs on that. People make um, like they laugh properly, and they do lots of changes in their teeth, just because they feel that they want to eat also. Like even for eating, we require some kind of scissors. So those are our scissors, like our teeth are our scissors. So then we need something like to take care of it. So sometimes a feeling like filling is required because they get infected by some disease, and they are used to get some kind of void spaces. So when those void spaces are there, and you know that those are to be filled somehow, so we go to the dental doctors. Okay, so we go to dentists to take care of our tooth. you know so have your tooth fixed when you have a dental issues or dental caries. Okay, so whenever there is some issue like that, I had suffered a lot from that. I remember that when I faced an accident in my senior secondary classes, I had my half tooth tooth broken, and during that period of time, I faced a lot of trouble, and even some kind of issues related to people people mocking my face, uh, you know, and they made fun of my face also, because it was distorted and the condition of my face was not that good. Like I was not looking that fine enough. Like, but I think one should be beautiful from within than from outside or from the outward appearance. So like I remember that I had lots of surgeries, but that my tooth was not coming in proper position. So finally, my brother-in-law, I remember that my sister's husband took me to a hospital where the person fixed my tooth once and for all, and thereafter I'm all good. Like till now I don't face any problem. And there was some surgery done also. It was a minor surgery. And yeah, surgery is also a word from health side. So you can take all those words also to be used in your, like, speaking, writing, whatsoever. Increase your vocab. That's what I can say. Now next word is to have a tooth out. tooth out means like I remember like just seeing this phrase. One story comes in my mind, that is Tom and Aunt Polly. So when he makes excuses not to go out for school on Monday morning, I remember that the chapter was like that. So Aunt Polly, for like he makes lots of excuses to Aunt Polly that I won't go to the school. So what he does, he makes stories, and then like in one of the stories, he says that I'm having some toothache, and she says that bring me the thread, I will take your tooth out. So he makes lots of excuses. So when he makes excuses, so that thing comes in my mind. I don't know like how do I remember those. Now the next one, very beautiful picture. I love this picture. So a heavy cloud, sorry, heavy cold. I'm becoming tired now. I'm feeling poor. Yeah. So a heavy cold. What exactly is heavy cold? As you can see that um, the whole picture is about snow, and I think that is by mistake I have written like to make a speedy recovery. I'm sorry for that. I think you should you should understand that like it's not there. Just a second. Yeah. Okay, fine. So now, as you can see that on the road and off the road, there is a lot of snow, and I can show you that in my live stream as well tomorrow, because we are all filled with a lot of snow. So there is a lot of snow and a lot of snoring you are going to hear also, because my roommates are sleeping right at the moment. So if there is any kind of sound that comes, I'm sorry for that. So now the next word is, so a heavy cold itself is a very simple word, a bad or severe. Severe means like a more serious kind of cold. Now the next one is, yeah, that one was for this. To make a speedy recovery, what exactly does it mean? To make a speedy recovery means like to recover very fast. Like he has a speedy recovery. That means if a person has recovered from any issue or any disease faster than the usual speed, then he has made the speedy recovery. Now, very easy one. Previous one was, so immediate action. Immediate, we know that what immediate means, like at the spot. So immediate action means like whatsoever are the like as you can see that there's a fire brigade, you know. So that is immediate action can be taken when in case there is a fire out. Then the first thing what we can do, or an ambulance can be the first aid too, or emergency measures are those like those are the immediate actions that we take. So all those immediate actions, all those emergency measures that we take are our first aid. Like all those are immediate actions. So immediate actions means when you suffer from some issue and you're taking some actions during that time period, like whatsoever action you're taking, and that the immediate action is, or immediate reaction is that. Now the next one is to perform surgery on. So to perform surgery on means to operate. To perform surgery on means, as I told you that like lots of doctors have done surgeries on my father, or like particularly on his heart. So to operate, like they have operated, like they have opened it and just made some changes in that and made him like a robot. And I would say that, that's all mechanical. People will not feel good once they have lost their health and something. So definitely that has some issues. So then there is the last word that I will do for today's live session. That is eye drops, because the next session what I'm going to do is I will conduct it tomorrow in the morning time. So I would ask all of you to just stay tuned for tomorrow's live session as well, since there is some of the words which are still left related to health. So here it is, the eye drops. Eye drops, we know that I love using this eye drops. Especially there is a certain particular company that brings it to the fore. That is Drishti. So and that is by some particular firm in India. But I like that one because there used to be the onion, there used to be some kind of Ayurvedic things into that. So I love those eye drops, but they used to uh, make my eyes swollen. So those liquid substance used for eye treatment, that is eye drops. So those drops are required. Like I do have my eye surgery. I remember that one. There was some kind of issue with my eye before my examination. I remember that. So I had to go through a small surgery. But there was some prescription by the doctor that you have to put some eye drops into your eyes. So then the next words, let me tell you that there are lots of words. So I would suggest you that you can stay tuned with me from the word syringe. Okay, so we use a syringe, like for doing something like injecting things or injecting the vaccine. So it'll be for tomorrow, and I will actually explain it with my full heart. I can't actually, just go through in a hassle. I just want to actually keep control on that. So tomorrow we will meet you in the morning time if I'll get some time. Otherwise, night time is always mine, and night time is always yours. And tomorrow, the health has to be taken care of because the temperature is going to get lower than 35, minus 35. So let's see what's gonna happen. Till then, it is time to say bye bye and take care, all of you, and especially, uh, you know, those students who are studying very hard for the succession of their high school, senior secondary classes, whomsoever. And if you are willing to take classes, or you want to actually learn exactly how actually we can understand English really well and can make people also better understand English, then you can comment in the comment box, or you can actually email me at my email, that is hstudy596 at the rate of gmail.com. So thank you very much. Till then, bye bye. Take care. Good night.